There are things in the Bible that I just want to see. So I'm wondering if AI can help us imagine the Bible, other than just waiting for these great works that only happen every once in a while. So as a starting place, I'm going to begin with a great work of art, in this case, the Passion of the Christ. And I'm going to use AI tools to resample it and see if we can reimagine something that we've never seen before. Because there's this one part of the death of Jesus that I just want to see. So here it is. I'll just share with you the idea and then the video I made. Have you ever wondered if Jesus remembered things before his life on the earth, while he was on the earth? John 1 tells us that when the earth was created, Jesus was standing there. Genesis 1 says the same thing. The Bible starts with, let us make them in our image. Jesus is standing there during the creation of the earth. Now, his name wasn't Jesus yet, really. He was the eternal Son of God who's just always existed. Here's another instance. You remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace? Let's read it real quick. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste. He declared to his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire?" They answered, so the counselors answered and said, "True, O king." But then the king says, "But I see 4 men unbound, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods." Who do you think the 4th was? Jesus. So these times we read in the Old Testament about things God did, Jesus was there, the eternal Son. You know the story of the burning bush? I think Jesus was there. I think that may have been his voice saying, "I am who I am." But I wonder if in Jesus' darkest moments on the earth, his life kind of flashed before his eyes. And there's parts of the New Testament that say Jesus did not avail himself to the fullness of his divinity while he was with us on the earth. But yet, he also walked through walls. So I think there might have been moments where he kind of maybe snapped back into the fullness of his divinity for moments. I was in a really bad car accident when I was in high school and I almost died. And it's amazing how things can just flash back in those moments of complete terror or pain. I wonder if Jesus thought back to any of those early moments when he was suffering here on the earth. Anyway, Passion of the Christ is my favorite Jesus movie, but it's in Aramaic and there's subtitles, and sometimes the way they pulled the verses together aren't how I really thought about it from the way I read scripture. And so there was just one moment between Jesus and Pilate that I just always wanted to recreate, and it just wasn't possible without AI. So I took some footage from the Passion, used one tool to reframe and increase the resolution of all the shots. Use another tool to recreate the voices, a tool to recreate the music, a tool to make the transitions, and a tool to just create the Old Testament scene that you'll see. But man, when I watched it back, I was just shaken by it. Here's the conversation. I love the Apostle John. The way the Gospel of John is written is wild. So people say he writes about these encounters with Jesus, and he writes the stories to let you feel what that person was feeling when they encountered Jesus. And so it's a very intimate telling of these stories. And the scene with Jesus and Pilate is like that. It's like such an intimate moment. You're just zoomed in right there with them, overhearing this conversation. Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world." Pilate said, "So you are a king?" And Jesus said, "You yourself say that I'm a king." Just watch this simple conversation that was hacked together with a bunch of AI tools. It's probably not the best thing in the world. There's a moment in this conversation I just always wondered about. So watch it with me.